So today the skill that we're going to be working on is bouncing the ball, and so the aim is for the student to be able to bounce the ball continuously with the right technique and doing it with the right skills for their age level. The age this skill should start being developed is probably going to be around year 1 for primary school students, because in prep, probably a little bit too young to start initiating the ball bounce, but they'll still have, activities with balls, but bouncing will really start in year 1, and the development of that initial fundamental skills will go on to year 3. But of course, after they've mastered that skill, which should be around the year 3 mark, they will continue to incorporate ball bounce with middle years, 3, 4s, maybe year 5s will be starting to do small games with them, and then when you get a little bit older, year 5 and 6, we're going to starting doing competitive sports and having to be much more serious, and by that stage they will have not only mastered but will have perfected and be able to incorporate it in games and sports, and Learning to develop this skill is fundamental to a student's learning and movement, is because it's really good for hand-eye coordination, because they're focusing on where their hands are and where the ball is going to be bouncing on the ground so that it doesn't lose out of their control. And it's really important as well for bouncing the ball for games in the future and sports that they will play, and it's a real vital aspect for them to learn in sports.
As a teacher, it's very important to remember some vital things. For instance, when communicating with your student, always mirror them. So hard in the face of the student, if you want your student to be able to look at your left hand, remember, your left is going to be their right, so mirror what you're trying to display. Number 2, to reduce off-task time, children tend to, when they bounce the ball, it hits their feet and it rolls down a hill, and you'll be chasing the ball for kilometres. To reduce off-task time, make sure you're running activities near a wall, so if they do tend to bounce and they mishandle the ball, it's going to come back to them, and then they'll be using the time valuably.
Because if there's walls on 2 sides instead of just one, then it's going to roll away. Obviously, there's less chance of it, there's more chance to get it safely when there's 2 walls to stop it from rolling away. Some main key teaching points for learning how to dribble a ball and teaching how to dribble the ball is, first, definitely stance. You want the kids to be standing about shoulder width apart, and get them to bounce their knees like they're bouncing the balls, just to get them into that position to be dribbling. And the next one, we've got a big issue that happens with kids bouncing the ball, especially younger ones, as they start doing that and hitting with the complete wrong part of their hand. So we've got to get them to focus on tips of their fingers. So often we can have issues though with where they do a little bit too much, a little bit too straight. So we want them to have a soft hand, got them on the tips of their fingers, so when they bounce, it's easy and it's quick and it's efficient. And what was our next teaching point?
The next teaching point would be, another common mistake that children make is when they're bouncing the ball, they use their shoulders or they flick their wrist.
Oh yeah, the wrist flicking.
You have to remember to be on the tips of your fingers and just to be using the elbow movement just like that.
So no wrist,
control.
No shoulder, elbow only movement. Yeah, that was a good one. And when they start learning about these developmental skills, I want to have them to keep their eyes on the ball at all times, and so that they can see what they're doing and not have the ball bouncing away everywhere. But when they get a bit older, that's when they get the confidence that they can run with the ball and they don't have to be watching this all the time. They're more watching what's ahead of them. And another really important one is where to bounce the ball for them. So you want them to, when they've got their feet shoulder width apart, bouncing, they've got their arm, you don't really need to tell them which arm that they'll be doing, because they'll immediately go to their stronger arm. So, and you want them to have the area just after their toe a little bit there, so they next to their foot. So that's close enough that they're going to keep it in control, but not too close that they're going to hit their foot and it's going to roll away. So that's where you want them to focus on the ball. And when you're actually in the gym with kids, you can get them to line up and get a little bit further back and have them to be straight, like on this line here, and so close enough, and then get them to hit it on the line. Good way to get them to start knowing where to bounce the ball and where's comfortable for them as well. Yeah. right, we're going to do a bit of a demonstration now where James is going to be my little grade 1 student who we're going to teach him how to, try and bounce the ball, and we'll watch him do maybe some common errors and mistakes that little kids make and how we can, fix them and overcome them. Thank you for the word. So, hey James, our little year 1 student. So what we're going to focus on is where you're going to have your legs shoulder width apart and, bounce your knees like you bounce the ball.
And my legs, is this how I have my legs?
No, you've got to match it to where your shoulders are. There you go, much better. All right, now, what do we say where we're going to bounce the ball?
We're going to bounce the ball to the top right corner of your preferred bouncing hand.
Because that's how you want
That's
to
a
say.
very
Very
smart
clever,
student.
grade 1. But yes, that's right. So we want to try it, and how are we going to grip the ball?
We're going to grip the ball with our palms, is it?
No, not with our palms. We're going to do it with the tips of our fingers.
Tips of our fingers.
All right,
Okay.
so I want you to bounce, push the ball down. That's it. There we go. Now, maybe a little bit too hard, a little bit softer. That's good.
Just like this.
Yeah. Oh, it's a little bit too much wrist movement. We need to focus on it being with our elbows.
With our elbows. Okay.
See? You let your elbows do the work. Much better. Perfect. You've got more control that way. All right, now we're going to practice bouncing the balls at some different heights. So why don't you bounce it up to your hips? So pretty much a normal bouncing height. Now bounce it a little bit harder, a little bit higher, up to your shoulders. Perfect. And very good elbow movement. Now drop it low with your bent knees to your knee height. All right, and we're good.
Thank you.
You did a great job.